60% of his passes for nearly 2,400 yards coming in for 34 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Unbelievable numbers.
Those are some really impressive numbers, and I think he's been a 3-year starter, so he's been in a lot of big games. He's got the experience, and now that he's a senior, he certainly knows how to get it done out there.
Well, he does a little play action on the rollout. Has a man open right side. Mark Little. Mark Reiner made the tackle.
Mark Little comes up big on that play.
Yes, he does. There's Little, number 83. His first reception.
Makes the catch and battles for a few extra yards.
Gets across the 40, 1st and 10 at the 41. Brandon Miller, left side, bobbing and weaving close to the 45. Dallas Copeland, who had 89 tackles coming into the game, makes the tackle. His brother Adam wears 74. He is also on the defensive line for West Central area, which I should say early on, West Central area is made up of Elbow Lake, Wendell. The school is in Barrett, and also the towns of Hoffman and Kensington. No huddle offense. Hackett will call the plays at the line. Great plays for a high school quarterback. We just called Adam Copeland's name. He made the sack. His brother Dallas made the previous tackle. They're keeping it all in the family there.
Yes, they are. That was great heads-up defense there. He saw an opportunity. Let's take a look at the replay. Hackett drops back, doesn't have anybody to throw to. And there, Copeland makes a nice sack on that play. Brings him down hard.
Well, now it's 3rd and 11 at the 40 after that Little reception, which was a big play. They have stalled. We'll see what they can do here as they try to convert a 3rd down. Hackett on the run, trying to avoid Mark Reiner, who brings him down at about the 45-yard line, well short of the 1st down. So the Buccaneers will have to kick it away near midfield.
And we're seeing a lot of 3-and-outs early on, which is a surprise. Both these teams average over 30 points a game. Let's take another look here. Hackett proves he's a good scrambler. You know, he didn't see any open receivers, took advantage of a few holes, and is finally brought down, but it wasn't enough for a 1st down.
He tried to straight arm Mark Reiner, but the junior would not have any of it, and Hackett has to stay in and punt the ball, and it is a line drive to Davidson, who catches it on the run and gets to near the 40-yard line. So again, good field position for the Knights. Clinton Simmons making the tackle. Back with more on the GM by Power scoreboard. Welcome back to Prep Bowl 18. Waterville, Elysian, Morristown leading West Central area 7-0. There's Mike Frisch. What a story. His Knights have won 3 games the past 2 years, and here they come to the Prep Bowl 13-0.
Yeah, it really is. It's a neat turnaround, and it's very opposite of the situation that Waterville, Elysian, Morristown's been in. They've entered the playoffs undefeated 3 straight years and have yet to win a championship. So can you say hungry?
Yes. They want to make up for being runners-up. Nothing to be ashamed of course, in '97, but they want the title. Here's Dave Drexler, back to pass, took a full drop, and he hit Davison out of the backfield. Tony Schnorr made the tackle. Chet Davison coming in as much of a threat as a receiver as a rusher. 28 catches, 478 yards, and they hit him out of the backfield.
All right, let's take a look at the replay here. Davison, kind of a big kid, and I think, like you said a little while ago, not your typical back, but there he makes the play as a receiver.
They list him at 6'3", 213. Drexler on the handout, Jake Sternhagen right up the middle. Jake coming in with about 1,800 yards, 27 touchdowns. Great statistics, and he lost his shoe. Oren Wentz made the tackle, 5'9" junior.
And I think we're seeing early here, both teams showing their versatility on offense. You know, a little bit of the running game, a little bit of the passing game. So it'll be interesting to see if West Central area can kind of work their way down the field and put some points on the board.
Well, they're getting off on the right foot right there, as you see. 3 yards for Sternhagen, making it 2nd and 7. The Knights are in Buccaneer territory now. You know, Rich Kallick, the Cretan-Durham Hall coach, was saying that sometimes when you have 2 great offenses that get together, they cancel each other out, and you get a low-scoring game.
That's what we're seeing early on, just 7-0, and both these teams putting a lot of points on the board during the season.
Drexler back, looking for Davison. Pass broken up by Jesse Apple. Boy, we have called his number a lot in the first quarter. Double coverage there. Davison had a shot at it, but Apple knocked it away, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, good double coverage. Obviously, they know, the defense knows that Apple's a guy that they're going to be looking to. They were ready for him.
Here's the pass defense.
Good, clean defense. No penalties. Just got his hands on it. Knocked it away.
3rd and 7, ball at the Buccaneer 44. Knights trying to keep their drive alive. Drexler going to his right, under pressure, gets rid of it. Sternhagen's open near the 35-yard line. Tim Pittman made the tackle, but it'll be a first down for the West Central area Knights.
Haven't said that many times today. I think that's the first time we've said that. So the Knights are kind of chipping away. They're moving the ball down the field. Nice grab there by Sternhagen. Plows forward a little bit. Adds a couple extra yards. They're in pretty good shape.
Got it by a yard. 1st and 10 at the 36. I formation. First man through. Sternhagen breaks a couple of tackles. Orrin Went is the one who knocked him down at the 30, but it'll be a gain of about 7 yards. They're going to give him 9, actually. The scoreboard, 2nd and 1.
Take another look. Sternhagen finds a hold way to use that blocking. And he gets, how many yards did you say on that one?
Well, they're giving him 8 now. They've changed it to 2nd and 2 at the 28, but a great first down play. Sternhagen is the lone back straight behind the quarterback, and he got it again inside the 25-yard line. Went was there again. Now they're going to Jake Sternhagen 3 plays in a row.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, I mean, the guy with 27 touchdowns, why go somewhere else when you know when you give it to Sternhagen, he's probably going to come through for you. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they might go to the air on this play just to mix it up a little bit.
Well, it's 1st and 10. He got it inside the 25-yard line, but just the nose of a football. Again, out of the eye, Dave Drexler, the 6'1 junior, and we'll have flags thrown there as there was movement at the line. Ryan Geezy, a player who moved on the false start, so they'll move him back.
Those penalties, I mean, you say it and say it and say it. Penalties will kill you, and it's early on, but, I mean, they were starting to work their way down the field. Good position, 1st and 10. All of a sudden, you know, you're penalized and you move back, and now they've got a little more yardage to make up.
5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 15. The Knights offense clicking, though, as you said. We'll see how they respond here after the false start. They faked the reverse, and Sternhagen was the first guy through, tackled by a couple of green shirts. Joe Zimke, who had 69 tackles coming in, the 6'2 senior, one of the players there. The ball was marked at the 29 at the snap. He got it maybe a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 14.
Let's look at the replay. Boy, he is determined, isn't he? He's a determined runner.
Bill Morgan, a 5'6", 185-pound senior, the first man behind Drexler. Play action. Drexler hit as he's thrown. Ball is dropped. Eric Reiner, the intended receiver. Good defense by Joe Zimke, but Drexler had to get rid of that one or he would have gotten sacked.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he actually got that pass off. I mean, it was a pretty decent pass considering, take a look here, he was getting nailed right as he was about to throw that ball. Managed to get a pretty good pass off, and he almost made that catch.
Mark Little providing the pressure. 3rd and 14, though, so the penalty right now, even though it was only 5 yards, a key right now. Drexler bobbles the snap, gets it back. Davison is picked off. Jesse Apple. He's got to beat Drexler. He's brought down inside the 50-yard line. Bill Morgan made the tackle. Number 26 on 26. But Jesse Apple makes the interception.
Great anticipation there by Jesse Apple. Here's a look. He knew they were coming that way. He stepped right in front of him. and nobody's there, so he takes it down the sideline, finally brought out of bounds, but that's a big play by Jesse Apple.
And a good tackle by Bill Morgan to possibly save a touchdown. 1st and 10, ball at the Knights 47. Hackett pump fakes once. That pass is complete and around the 40-yard line. Clint Semin, and he's hit by Jake Sternhagen. You mentioned earlier, you got to tip your hat to these kids for playing both sides of the ball. They've done it all year long as we reach the 1-minute mark. Again, no huddle. Corey Hackett calling the plays. This is impressive in a high school attack.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, you know, here, Waterville, Legion, Morristown has a chance to put another touchdown on the board.
What a cut by Brandon Miller to the outside, cutting back in. Chad Davison got him. A couple of running backs get together, but the ball now inside the 35. 44 seconds left in the first quarter. It'll be a first down.
So as always, turnovers are big, and if they can convert on this, they could go up 14-0. And, you know, at the end of the first quarter, that would be huge.
Buccaneers undefeated in the regular season the last 3 years. Hackett now trying to escape the pressure. Dumps it off to Little, who is tackled by Sternhagen near the 30-yard line. Close to a 3-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 7 with 24 seconds left in the first quarter. Now, you got to stay on your toes in this no-huddle attack.
Yeah, no kidding. You don't really have time to breathe. It's kind of boom, boom, boom.
That's Mark Little. They're going to let the clock wind down here. We'll switch sides. Waterville Legion Morristown with the lead and with momentum. After 12 minutes, they lead 7-0 in the 2A championship. We'll be back with the second quarter in a moment. Welcome back to the Metrodome. Prep Bowl 18. This is the 2A championship. Knights fans trying to cheer on their defense. The Buccaneers have a 2nd and 7 at their 30 with Vanessa Hughes. I'm Jeff Grayson. West Central area giving up just over 8 points a game coming in. And they've had 2 shutouts the last 2 games in the playoffs, 4 on the season.
That's pretty impressive. They knocked out Deer River 28-0 and Bram 16-0. They come in as the 2nd-ranked team in Class AA, trying to knock off number 1, the big boys, the Buccaneers.
There's our Menard scoreboard, a 7-0 lead as we start the second quarter on 2nd and 7. This time Hackett fakes the throw and hands off. I think the rollout was expected, but Brandon Miller got the ball. Mark Reiner, the older brother of Eric Reiner. So we got some brother act on the West Central area side. There's Brandon Miller. He had 7 carries. I'm sorry, he had 2 touchdowns against Chatfield last week.
What a game that was. Boy, they barely escaped that one with a victory.
2 receptions on the season, I should say. Hackett way back, drops back near the 40 on 3rd and 5. Miller got the ball, but Dallas Copeland made the tackle. And so the Knights defense rising to the occasion to start the second quarter.
They certainly are. Let's take a look here. Great defensive play there. He was ready for him.
Now Corey Hackett will stay in. An interesting note, he is a right-handed passer, but he punts left-handed. Referee has a stoppage of play. That was a loss of 6 that time. So on the last 2 downs, 6-yard loss for the Buccaneers as the Knights defense dug in.
The Buccaneers defense made a big play in the first quarter. The Knights looking to shut these guys down in the second quarter.
This is the second quarterback we've seen already in 3 games with a right-handed quarterback and a left-footed punter. Andy Akers, Stephen Argyle did the same thing. Good hang time on the punt. And it is caught by Paul McGee. So the Knights hold off the Buccaneers. We'll be back with more on the Menard scoreboard.
For more prep sport team information and statistics, be sure to check our website at www.kmsp.com under Prep Sports in the Sports section, courtesy of Varsity Online.
Varsity Online, a great service. You couldn't have gotten through the prep football season without him. Dave Drexler on a 1st and 10 at the 17. Handoff to Sternhagen, who gets maybe a yard, not much.
Sternhagen, we've said it all game. He's the kind of back you want with the ball. He just continues to battle and battle, trying to pick up those extra yards. Just a little short of the first down.
Looks like Jason Bemis, one of many green shirts there. They'll give him 2. Ball at the 19, 2nd and 8. 28 has been a lucky number for the Knights. They've had 28 points in 3 of their last 5 games. Looking for that first score. Drexler gives it to the first man through, Sternhagen, and he almost broke it, getting just over the 30-yard line. Jake Sternhagen.
Gets tripped up there, but boy, he lost his shoe.
Second time. Joe Zimke making the tackle.
Here comes Sternhagen busting up the gut. He's the kind of back, he sees the holes and he breaks through. If he hadn't been brought down on that play, he probably wouldn't have been off to the races.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line exactly, so he got 11 yards. Again, the Knights getting out of trouble. They've had a few possessions where they haven't started out with the greatest field position, and they give it to the horse again. Sternhagen getting near the 35-yard line.
Watching the Knights here and seeing them go to Sternhagen time and time again, it kind of reminds me of what Wisconsin tries to do with Ron Dane. I mean, you know, you give him the ball, good things are bound to happen. Why not keep going with it?
Tony Schnur making the tackle for the Buccaneers. 5 yards, though, a solid carry. 2nd and 5 at the 35. Jake Sternhagen working his way towards 1900 now as we have a timeout. Players, looks like there's a player shaking up. We'll take a break. We'll see how Orrin Wentz is doing. Looks like he is down. We'll be back in a moment. 7-0 Buccaneers in the 2A championship. Jesse James, not Orrin Wentz, I apologize. Jesse James walking off the field now under his own power for Waterville, Legion, Morristown. Here's where these schools are. Waterville, Legion, Morristown, the lower central part of the state, and of course West Central area, which is in Barrett. But I was talking with athletic director Keith Swanson. He wanted to make sure that we mention Elbow Lake, Wendell, Barrett, Hoffman, and Kensington. 5 communities making up West Central area. 2nd and 5. Here's Sternhagen. Burst of speed at the line of scrimmage. Maybe 2 yards on the gain. Tony Schnur, who we've called a number of times already, making the tackle.
Again, we see Sternhagen just trying to chip his way down the field. He's been having a lot of success these last few plays. Takes the handoff there. Doesn't get much, but still hangs on to the ball. It's always, you always worry when he's going straight into the O-line or the D-line if he's going to be able to hang on to the ball.
A good, sure tackle by Schnur. 3rd and 2 at the 38. They gave him 3. Sternhagen, this time a green wall led by Jason Bemis. 3rd on the team in tackles coming in. I don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage that time.
It didn't look like it. He ran head-on into 3 defenders. Take a look. Sternhagen again trying to go up the gut. A slew of green jerseys, as you said. They were not going to let him break through that wall.
4th down, a loss on the play of a couple of yards. Nate Chandler, who's been busy already with the kick. It's a low kick. We'll take a look at the bounce, though. This time near the 20-yard line. It was Jesse Apple to receive. Josh Leagard helps down the ball. Looks like about the 18-yard line, so still, considering the bounce, a pretty good punt for Nate Chandler.
Yeah, we saw crazy bounces, the first 2 punts from both teams. This one not quite as crazy, but still, they're down there around the 18, so they have some work to do.
And in that game, the previous game, the 2A, I'm sorry, the 1A, our second game of the day.
It gets a little confusing, doesn't it?
Cook County with a 3-peat, and they had a punt that just kept going and going when a player didn't down it. And I think it was down at the 1-yard line. So the Vikings will be able to tell you this carpet has a life of its own. Well, it's 1st and 10 at the 20. Waterville, Legion, Morristown with a 7-0 lead. It's been mostly defense for both teams here. There's the throw to Little, Mark Little. Jake Sternhagen making the tackle.
So Sternhagen turns around and does it on defense. He's their main guy on offense. Now he's getting it done on defense. Hackett finds Mr. Little, and Sternhagen pulls him down. Pretty good play there.
Lost the ball out of bounds, but Little's second reception is a first down just over the 30. He had to get to the 30. So we'll call it the 31-yard line. First and 10, 7:45 left first half. Buccaneers with the ball and on the move. Right side, Brandon Miller makes a nice cut past the 40-yard line. Brian By made the tackle.
So they go one way, they go to the left, now they go to the right. Hackett, I think, has a very good sense of what's going on out there. He finds his receivers. Not a lot of interceptions for this guy on the season. And I think he's the kind of guy you want running your offense.
12 yards, another first down. First and 10 at the 43. Quick out pattern. Bill Morgan, number 26, on Jesse Apple. It's incomplete, so it'll be second and 10. You see Corey Hackett, and you talk about his poise, to be able to run the no huddle. Got that wristband. You see the pros wear that with the plays on there. Hackett, 8 of 12 for 67 yards early for John Bakken's team.
The no huddle, I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. Like you said, you really have to have a good sense of what's going on out there and good anticipation.
Brandon Miller looked like he'd be tackled for a loss, but by the time Brian By got him, he got close to a 7-yard gain. He's near midfield. The junior, Brandon Miller.
Here's Hackett. Gets it out to Miller, and Miller, way to use his block there. He kind of fumbles around for a few extra yards, but that was a nice run.
6 yards, 3rd and 4 at the 49-yard line. Hackett, 3-step drop. Now he's going to scramble. He's got a first down, and he's got more. Right down the middle of the field. Cuts back near the 20-yard line. Mark Ryder, Chad Davison on the tackle. But that's how the Buccaneers got their score off of a scramble. Corey Hackett.
Mighty impressive run by Corey Hackett. Let's take a look at that. He drops back, doesn't find anybody, and look at how he uses his defenders. He just finds the holes, and I mean, heck, if there weren't 5 guys ready for him there, he would have had a little help downfield. He would have been into the end zone. He had a real burst of energy there.
30 yards on the scramble. First and 10 at the 21. Now he'll throw. Crossfield. Apple. Touchdown, Buccaneers. yards. Hackett to Jesse Apple, and it's 13-0.
Mighty impressive. Jesse Apple wide open, though. As you can see here, take a look. Play fake there, and then Hackett finds Apple wide open. He's beaten his man clearly and goes into the end zone. They've hooked up quite a few times on the season. Apple has had 13 touchdowns on the regular season.
Hackett with the hold, Gabe Hauer with the kick. It is good, and it's 14-0. Waterville Legion Morristown now up by 2 touchdowns on the Menard scoreboard. Buccaneers with a touchdown in each quarter, and they're up 14-0. We're getting set for the kickoff. There's Brian Volbrecht. There's Bill Morgan, who's deep in the center position at about the 8-yard line. Volbrecht getting ready to kick off about halfway through the second quarter. Good kick about the 7-yard line. Here's Bill Morgan right up the middle. He's tripped up, gets near the 25. Looks like Ryan Gerke was there making the play. Well, here's how the Buccaneers did it. Take a look at the scoring drive. It'll be first and 10 at the 25-yard line, by the way, for the Knights. 6 plays, 80 yards. They didn't take long.
No, they certainly didn't. And then finally, Hackett finds Apple, and that nice 21-yard touchdown pass. Apple wide open near the end zone.
Well, Sternhagen had carried the ball the last 9 plays for the Knights, but this time they switch gears and go with Chad Davison, but good defense by the Buccaneers. A loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12. So Knights having a little bit of trouble right now, and they need to put something together. There's Chad Davison, a threat as a receiver as well. 6'3". I had him listed as a senior. Here's Drexler rolling. Good job avoiding the pressure. He's got a man. What about the 38, Eric Reiner? Jesse Apple, who made the touchdown earlier, made the tackle there, but Eric Reiner with a first down. Nice play there.
Excuse me, Jeff. I'm sorry. Reiner had 12 catches, 166 yards on the season, and just 1 touchdown. But here, this is a nice look. Wide open, turns the corner, ooh, and is met with a hello from the defense.
1st and 10 at the 38. So they came out of a 2nd and 12 with a nice gain for a first down. Dave Drexler, the junior, gives it to the first man, Sternhagen, maybe 2 yards. Brought down immediately. Looked like Jason Bemis made the tackle, the left defensive tackle for the Buccaneers.
That was kind of a half-speed type play. Sternhagen kind of maybe got tripped up a little bit, but kind of fell forward and didn't get much out of that one.
We talk about the Buccaneer offense, 38 points a game. Here's the hit, by the way. They've only given up 5 points a game. Nice job by our crew. The natural sound that you hear in the football game is helmets collide. 4:58 left in the first half. We got a timeout on the field. A 1-yard gain, by the way, after the Bemis stop. So it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 40. We still have 3 more games coming up. This is only the 3rd game of 6. Prep Bowl 18. We've got some undefeated clashes, this being one of them right here.
You bet. Yeah, I mean, like I said early on, this is the kind of matchup that you want. Number 1, number 2, 2 unbeaten. Let's see who's the best team in that class. We've got some good games coming up.
In case you're joining us now, Stephen Argyle won the 9-man title. Cook County won for the 3rd straight year, a 3-peat. They won in Class 1A once again, so congrats to them. That score was 14-6. Stephen Argyle won in 9-man 18-8. 2nd and 9 at the 40. Drexler, he'll give it to Davison this time, and he cuts his way near midfield. Jesse James there, also Jason Bemis. Nice run, though, by Chad Davison. He had to get to midfield, and he's about a yard short.
Here's Davison again, finding those holes, taking advantage of what the defense is giving him. He's brought down hard, though. That's a determined young man there.
Well, they call it first down at midfield. I thought he was just a little bit short, but a good spot for the Knights there, and they're in a good spot on the move here. Close to midfield there is Sternhagen. He's brought down by the defense. Nice play on that previous play, by the way, by Bemis, the defensive lineman running downfield to make the stop.
You bet, and not much room for Sternhagen there. I think maybe the defense is figuring out, when you see that number 27, move towards him.
320 carries in the first 13 games. No gain there. It'll be 2nd and 10. There's a look at Jake. Closing in on 1,900 yards during this game for the year rushing.
Those are some pretty impressive numbers.
Well, he got it again. He's trying to push the pile forward. He might have gotten 3 yards on his forward progress. There's Luke Larson, 74, one of many green shirts there to stop him. We'll give him 2 and mark it at the 48-yard line, but the Knights are in Buccaneer territory. 3.5 minutes left in the first half, and this would be a great way for the Knights to get back in this. Down 2 touchdowns to score before the end of the half. 3rd and 8 for Dave Drexler and company. Throwing, going to his left, hit as he throws. Ball is loose, it's marked incomplete. Eric Reiner, the intended receiver, and he wanted that one back.
Boy, great defense on the double coverage there. Let's take a look here. Oh boy, he is hit hard on that play. He had it for a split second, but coughed it up. I mean, when you're sandwiched like that, you don't have much of a choice.
Nick Salmon and Jesse Apple on the defense. Salmon with the coverage, Apple with the crunch. Here's the punt by Nate Chandler, whose foot has gotten a workout on a running low grab there on the catch by Apple.
Jesse Apple having a great game so far. He's got that interception and brought it back, and then that play there. He's been making some big tackles.
Yeah, certainly a player of the game candidate based on the first half. You're right, he's done a little of everything. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line for the Buccaneers, who work out of the no huddle, and what a great situation here late in the half to try it.
Oh, you bet. I mean, it certainly keeps the defense on their toes, although it looks like they did talk about something there briefly. But for the most part, they've been going with the no huddle offense, which, I mean, obviously it's working.
Corey Hackett, a 4-year starter at point guard on the basketball team, and he is the point man for this Buccaneer attack, and he's going for it all here. He's got a man open. Gabe Hauer, 76 yards. We talk about the no huddle. That took no time. One-stop shopping there.
My goodness, on the busiest shopping day of the year, he cashes in. Wow, look at that. Perfect placement on the pass by Hackett. He's beaten the defense, wide open, goes in to score. That is a nice play. No mercy on West Central.
Gabe Hauer broke his collarbone a few weeks ago. He's just okayed to play. Well, he's doing more than okay here with a huge play right there. And he just kicked the extra point. So Hackett with the hold, Hauer with the kick. So the two of them teaming up. What a job by Corey Hackett, as you said, on this throw.
Boy, Hackett drops back. He airs it out. Oh, that's just a beautiful play. Those two have hooked up a handful of times. Hauer with 41 receptions, 792 yards on the season, and 9 touchdowns. So those two are pretty familiar with one another. And
give credit to that Buccaneer offensive line, because Hackett had time to put that ball right on the money. Guys like Luke Larson, Leah Dahl, Mike David, Nick Tegmeyer, Brandon Sheehy. That's the front 5 for the Buccaneers. He had time to throw it. Brian Volbrecht getting ready to kick. There's still 2:56 left in the first half. You know, Waterville, Legion Morristown's been nickel and diming their way down the field. That time, one play, they went for it all.
They certainly have. I definitely think that the Knights need to get something going here, though, to close out the first half. They'd like to at least get one touchdown to keep this ball game within reach.
This is Paul McGee, breaks a tackle, and he's got some room on the left side. Well, they'll start with good field position. Jesse James making the tackle. Good return by Paul McGee. And they're near midfield.
You bet. McGee kind of starts out slow and then turns on the jet as he heads for the sideline. He could have broken free on that one too, but is forced out of bounds around midfield. Not bad field position, though. They've got about 2:47 to go in the half.
1st and 10, ball at the 45. Plenty of time for the Knights to get back in this. Drexler, handoff, Sternhagen. Inside now, the 50-yard line.
They go to Sternhagen again. We've been going to him quite often during this game. One thing that's interesting, though, the Knights have 2 backs that are very dangerous in Davison and Sternhagen. So, you know, maybe to mix it up a little bit, they go to one guy and change it up. So they have a couple options that way.
Tim Pittman on the tackle. There's the scoring drive. Drexler went on the out pattern for Davison, and Salmon on the defense right there. That was a 6-yard gain previously for Sternhagen that brought up the 2nd and 4, but now a first down on the out pattern to Davison. 2:15 and running on the game clock here. Drexler the junior. 1st and 10 at the 44. He'll keep it. I don't know if he got a yard. Tony Schnurr on the defense. Another tackle for number 59.
Not a lot of running room for Drexler on that play, but he didn't have a lot of options either.
Here's a look. We're at 1:45 in the first half. Drexler on the keeper. He was 10 of 18 for 101 yards against Graham last week. 2nd and 9. Calls out the signals. Nearly hit by Little, but Davison caught it in traffic and got near the 30-yard line. So it'll be a first down. Jesse Apple there again making the hit, but Davison with the catch.
Drexler threads the needle on that play. Wow. That was a nice throw, nice catch. Let's take a look.
There's a timeout on the field, by the way.
He's got a man on him, then 2 more right when he turns around, but he manages to hang on. That was a nice play.
1:28 left. Some more
shoe issues.
Yes. Some more loose shoes there. Also a good way to catch your breath, too. Clock stops with 1:28 left. There's Tony Schnurr. He's made a bunch of hits in the first half. He's entitled, and now the clock begins to move again. Coming up on 1:20 left in the first half. Drexler back, rolling, trying to avoid the pressure, and he's sent out of bounds there on the defense. Joe Zimke making the hit.
Drexler again forced to scramble, if you will. He went left earlier. Now he comes this way, but not much running room for the junior quarterback.
Loss of 4, so it'll be 2nd and 14. The Knights use a timeout. West Central area down 21-0. A slow starting game offensively, but then the Buccaneers came to life.
Oh, they certainly did, and they're proving worthy of their #1 ranking. They really have waltzed through this season, haven't had a lot of close games, except for last week against Chatfield when they barely pulled it out, 19-17. You know, that field goal hit the crossbar with 5 seconds to go, and they might not have been in this game if that thing would have gone through the uprights. I'm sure they wouldn't have.
You're right. They got in, defeating Chatfield 19-17. A tough loss for the Gophers. We showed that game in our highlights on UPN 9, and ball kept going towards the post, and it hit the post and fell short, propelling the Buccaneers into the final. 2nd and 14 at the 34. There's a good look at Dave Drexler trying to keep this drive alive. 2nd and 14. They run the ball about 3 yards for Sternhagen. Gabe Gerke, Jason Bemis in there on the stop. 3rd and 11 now at the 31. Under a minute. There's a look at Sternhagen. Drexler needs time, and he's brought down on the sack by Mark Little. You know, you said before, Little making big plays. He did it there.
Yeah, well, like we said, you know, these guys play both ways. He gets it done on offense as a receiver, tight end kind of guy, and then he's making a big play here on defense. Drexler just nowhere to go. Give a lot of credit to the Buccaneers D. I mean, all around, these guys are covered. They don't have any options.
Well, they've had 5 shutouts this season. It's 4th and 11. 20 seconds left in the first half. They need to get to the 20-yard line. Drexler puts it up for grabs. Ball is tipped away. It was intended for Bill Morgan. Double covered, though. Brandon Miller was in on the play, as was Tim Pittman.
And we have another shoe problem down there. Nice double coverage, as you said. They were certainly ready for the long ball there on that play.
Here's a look at it. They needed 11. They went for it all.
Ooh, nearly picked off, too. And there's that shoe. I don't know what the deal is with these missing shoes today.
Well, we'll see whether the Buccaneers play it safe and take a knee to end the half with 14 seconds left, or if they'll try for more. They'll take the knee. Corey Hackett, 10 of 16 for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. What a performance by the Buccaneers quarterback, and they'll head in up 21-0.
As you mentioned, Jeff, things got off to kind of a slow start. But the Buccaneers have put 3 touchdowns on the board in this first half, proving they can do it many different ways. Hackett with the touchdown, then he finds Jesse Apple. And, you know, it just shows that they are a very versatile team with quite an offensive arsenal.
Let's go now to hear from Mike Frisch with Lillian McDonald. Lil?
That's right, Jeff. Coach Frisch, your team never been behind before.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a unique situation, or new situation for us. They're awfully good. They might have too much speed for us, but then again, we think we can do some things on offense, but we made a couple key mistakes that have really killed us because we got to keep the ball away from them.
Corey Hackett is somebody you probably really got to sack from time to time because he's been able to get that ball to his wide receivers.
Yeah, he throws the ball awfully well, and he's hurt us twice in the quarterback draw, too. So, again, you know, we got to try to find a way to stop him, but offensively, we got to get it going because we got to keep the football out of their hands a little bit, too.
Double team him, then you got to come back for your own offense. Keep it on the ground or put it in the air?
Well, we're probably going to have to put it in the air a little bit more than we're used to, but again, if we could come out in the third quarter and establish a good drive and put points on the board, you know, maybe climb our way back into the game, but again, we got to find a way to stop him too.
All right, Coach, good luck to you then. Thank you very much. All right, there's the head coach, Mike Frisch. For his team, he's going to go back, let the guys know they're going to try to put it in the air and try to stop this offense here. I'm Lillian McDonald on KMSP TV. This is Prep Bowl 99. We'll be back with some halftime after this. Welcome back to Northland Ford halftime. I'm Lillian McDonald on KMSP TV. We are in the middle of Prep Bowl action, and we've got another big game going on out here, but lots of volunteers also come to the game just to help keep the games going. By the way, this is sponsored by Northland Ford. We get our little plug-in to make a little dough, and these guys here make a little dough when they work on the sidelines. You know it. We're looking at the chain crew, right? We have Bernie Madsen, George Carnes, and Dick Hughes, who have been working the chain crew since 1972 when Prep Bowl first got started. It's a long time.
Yes, it is. It's a lifetime when you look at it, but we've enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, you guys work together on and off on the same crew together?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, all the same crew.
All right. Where did you used to operate together before you were in the dome? I mean, the weather's nice out there today, but it wasn't this nice a long time ago.
Oh, it was freezing down at Parade Stadium. The wind come across there. It was really cold. No, this is much nicer.
What's the hardest part of doing this job, running these links up and down the sideline?
Well, I don't have the hard job. I just do the scheduling now, and these guys do the work.
Back in the old days when you were running up and down the sideline?
Yes, I did for 20 years, yes.
You get the market, you have to deal with the fans and the players, too?
Mostly the players and the coaches, not many fans, no.
Ever make a mistake out there?
Never.
Right answer. All right, 1972, that's a lot of Prep Bowls.
Yes.
Is it better now or then?
Oh, much better. It's well organized. We have more classes, more kids get to play, which is probably the most important thing. And of course, we're in the dome from the semifinals on, which I think is better all around.
When did they make that switch now to the dome?
About 7 years ago, they went to the semifinals. The Prep Bowl has been here about 10 years. 82? Okay. All right.
10 years, so it's an anniversary year, sort of.
Right, it is. And
it's a lot of work. There is a little bit of compensation you get when you come out here and work on the crew, right?
Yeah, the high school league pays a stipend for expenses like driving down here, and I think we use that sometime to take the wives and friends out because we spend a lot of time at this when they're home alone.
But for the most part, you've been together. 1972, that's a lot of years. You must really love it.
We love the kids. I think that's why we stay, and it's fun to be here.
That's what it's all about, and that's why we're bringing you Prep Bowl, too. It's all about the kids and the players. I'm Lillian McDonald. This is the Northland Ford halftime. We've got more for you. Don't you dare go away. Welcome back to Class 2A football action, the championship tournament here at the Metrodome. I'm Lillian McDonald. Watertown, Elijah, and Morristown. The Buccaneers are beating firsthand the West Central area Knights pretty handily right now, 21-zip at halftime. This is the Northland Ford halftime presentation. We've got lots of games to go, Class 3A, Class 4A, and we'll wrap up with the 5A final tonight starting about 9:30. But let's take a look at what's coming up next in our next game, the Class 3A game between De La Salle and St. Michael Albertville. Jeff Grayson takes a look at what those teams are all about.
De La Salle's Dominic Sims is no stranger to championships. He helped the Islanders basketball team win 2 straight state titles, but he's after the school's first in football. In the semifinals, Sims and the Islanders played Minnewaska area in one of the state's best games of the year. Rod Malone put De La Salle up 7-zip early, but the Lakers took the lead thanks in part to pass plays like this one from Josh Kath to Seth Mork. Minnewaska area led 20-14 in the final minute, but then Sims worked his magic with a big hand from Alan Anderson. The junior cut back for a 69-yard touchdown. That tied it at 20, and the extra point won it, 21-20, to play for a state championship.
This is what we work for all year, from day one in Hell Week, and this is what we work for, and we want this. It's the best thing right here.
St. Michael Albertville, on the other hand, had an easier time against Albany. The Knights led all the way as quarterback Derek Brandt hit Marty Hackenmiller for a touchdown in a 20-6 win. Now their attention turns to stopping Sims.
I would say that we got to contain the guy, obviously, and he cuts back against the grain so well. And but we'll come out here to win. We're going to not come out here just to practice. So we're out here to win a state championship next week.
All right, that's a look at the Class 3A game. That's coming up next, but we still have a whole half to go of this 2A battle between a couple of teams that are really coming out to win like everybody else, enjoyed by all the fans, students, and parents who come out here to support their team. I'm Lily McDonald. This is the Northland Ford halftime. We've got more to come. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Prep Bowl action. I'm Lily McDonald, where we are watching the West Central Knights. They are down right now, but they are definitely not out against the Buccaneers, and they've got clearly one heck of a cheerleader going on right here. What is your name, sir?
My name is Kelly Chandler.
Kelly Chandler, tell us a little bit about this gear here.
I'd like to thank Arms and Armor from right here in Minneapolis for the solid Jouster suit armor. I wore it last weekend. I wore it this weekend. And
so you basically been renting this costume now for all of these big games. Now, I don't know if you folks can really see this or hear this, but this thing is rock solid. In fact, that's much better, yes. And it weighs 120 pounds.
Right.
You must be in pretty good shape yourself to haul this around.
Oh, wish I was in better shape.
It's got to be pretty warm in that gizmo, too. In fact, Nate, why don't you go ahead and pan? Let's let everybody take up the shoes all the way down, up and down. Why don't you pan your camera just up and down? Oh, okay, thanks. So you see the boots? They're heavy. I mean, you're fully clothed on top of this doggone thing. It's got to be hot in this.
It's a little warm. We're here. We're fired up. We're only down 21-0, and we got spirit.
All right.
Say hi to my mom, and hi, Wayne. I told you I'd say hi.
All right, all the fans are behind you, too. Here, you're trying to rev up those Knights for a big second half against the Buccaneers. Tell us about the sword, too. That's
handmade by Arms and Armor here in Minneapolis.
Handmade sword.
Beautiful piece.
Excellent. Might have to borrow that sometime.
I can't see it.
Yeah, if we go black all of a sudden, you'll know what's happened. Well, I'll tell you what, I might borrow that sword sometime. We've got some folks back in the newsroom that might want to use that around here.
Good.
Thanks a lot. Good luck to your team.
Thank you.
Rev them up for the Knights.
We're down a little bit, but we're coming back.
All right, they'll be coming back, and we're going to hear all the play-by-play with Jeff Grayson and Vanessa. We're going to let those guys take it from here.
All right, Lil, thank you very much. Wow, that's I think maybe even harder than playing the game. It's like, that thing's over 100 pounds, that suit.
Yeah, he said he wasn't in shape. He will be after this game. Man, that's quite a load he's got there.
Yes, well, speaking of loads, I'm going to try to segue. I don't know how we segue from a knight in shining armor, but the Knights have a load of work to do in the second half because they're down 21-0. Game really started slow, but the Buccaneers are really explosive.
Oh, they are. They're on a tear. I mean, they found many ways to get the ball into the end zone. And one interesting thing that you pointed out is the time of possession. West Central almost double the time of possession in the first half, yet they don't have any points.
Right.
They have over 15 minutes, while Waterville and Legion Morristown just 8:34. So that's an interesting number.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers are really making the most of when they do have the ball. They've had the ball 10 less offensive plays, but they're up by 3 touchdowns, and really it all starts with Corey Hackett, who has been a highlight reel in the first half, working out of the no huddle most of the first half. Here's the first touchdown, a 21-yard, I'm sorry, we're going to give him 30 yards on this one. That made it 6-0. The extra point made it 7-0.
Yeah, Hackett, like you said, he's getting it done in many ways. His ability on the keeper there to take it into the end zone, the 21-yard touchdown. Here's a look at the second touchdown. Hackett finds one of his favorite receivers, Jesse Apple, wide open, who takes it in to score. That puts the Buccaneers up 14-0, and they would not look back.
Two candidates for player of the game, Apple and Hackett. And then, just as we thought they might use a drive to end the half, they get it in one play. Hackett to Gabe Howard. 76 yards, a perfect pass, right on the money, leads him. He makes the grab and goes in to score untouched. 76-yard touchdown. That's mighty impressive. 21-0 at the half, and that's where this one stands. Let's take a look at the stats. You see the passing yards, 164 for the Buccaneers because of Hackett, and a lot of them on that one play you just described. Just 55 for West Central area. The total offense almost double by the Buccaneers. And you mentioned the time of possession. That's interesting.
It certainly is, and you mentioned how the Buccaneers are making the most of their opportunities. Take, for example, that final touchdown, a 76-yard scoring strike on that. So, I mean, when you get things done in one play, you're obviously going to have a lesser time of possession, but they are making the most of their opportunities. They are in the driver's seat at this point with a 21-0 lead here at the half.
Corey Hackett is completed 10 of 14 passes for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. A great line for a game, and he's already had it in one half. The 76-yard score being the key, and the Buccaneers really have been in control since then. It was just 7-0 at that time. I'm sorry, 14-0, and then the bomb made it 21-0 as we were getting set for the second half in a moment. Hackett and the Buccaneers getting in shape with the jumping jacks, and they're in good shape. Both these schools looking for their first title. You know, we have some perennials here, and the Buccaneers, their second Prep Bowl final in 3 years, but neither has won a title.
Yeah, and interestingly, Waterville and Elysian combined, they were a school for several years. They won the Class C title back in '89. Then Morristown joined the act in 1990, and like you said, neither of these schools has won a state championship. West Central area with an interesting story, as we talked about earlier. 3 wins in the last 2 years combined. They come into this year 13-0, unbeaten. Mike Frisch has really done a nice job of turning this program around. He was an assistant for 5 years. He took over last summer. I mean, that's just getting the most out of your guys, really. From 3 wins to 13-0 in just a matter of years.
Yeah, that's a great story, no matter what happens today. Obviously, they've got a lot of work ahead of them in the last 24 minutes, but you're right, 3 wins in the last 2 years, and here they are, 13-0. John Bakken, on the other hand, with the Buccaneers, you said they've been knocking on the door, and the Bucs are stopping here and hope to get a title. First would be their first under the current Waterville, Elysian, Morristown setup there.
Bakken in his 15th year, and I read something that was kind of funny. He said during warm-ups, his team is the biggest bunch of screw-offs. Now, you would never know that watching this team perform on the field, but something very interesting. You know, most guys, when they're down on the field before the game, are very serious, taking things very intently. These guys are a bunch of screw-offs. I shouldn't say that. They're not screw-ups, that's for sure, but it's kind of funny.
He's encouraged his players to be loose, and some coaches very tough, very stern. Obviously, John Bakken, the opposite, with a comment like that. But his team is 13-0. Both of these coaches, same records. Maybe a little different way of getting things done, but you can't fault the Buccaneers right now. They're going to start off on defense. The Knights will get a chance to get back in this game. Bill Morgan right there, standing at the 8-yard line. Paul McGee also back there. They're calling for it. Who's going to take it? It'll be McGee. Like 2 outfielders running into each other. Bobbing and weaving. Ball on the ground, and the Buccaneers have it. Oh, my. A nice return by McGee. The ball came loose, and the Buccaneers have it. I believe they're still fighting for it. They do.
Boy, that is a tough break for the Knights. Obviously, they wanted to come out, start this second half on a positive note. And, he loses it. And the Buccaneers recovered.
I think Nick Tegmeyer was one who knocked it loose. Thomas Borst in there. Jesse James fell on it. 1st and 10 at the 35. I was about to say the Knights had good field position and they lost it, and Hackett will find an open man. Run out of bounds is Gabe Howard. A big gain right there. Chad Davison on the tackle, but you said Hackett, he doesn't waste any time inside the 10.
Wow, those two hooked up in the first half on a scoring strike. They almost did it again in the second. Now they are down inside the 10. So they have a chance to go up 4 touchdowns and really try and put the game out of reach.
Well, that unfortunate fumble there, the turnovers, as key a statistic as anything in a football game. 21-0, just 15 seconds in to the 3rd quarter. They scored this way earlier. Over the head of Brandon Miller as Hackett on the rollout. Good coverage. Mark Reiner, Eric Reiner, his younger brother, was around there too. Eric with 4 interceptions coming into the game.
It's interesting looking at the rosters of these smaller schools especially. There are a lot of brothers/cousins, lots of family ties in these smaller schools, which isn't really a surprise. It's kind of neat to see that, though, the chance to play with your brother or your cousin for several years.
Adam Copeland and Dallas Copeland are brothers who play on the defensive line for the Knights. Here's the pitch this time. Brandon Miller avoids 1 tackle, but it slowed him down. Josh Legard in there on the stop. Line of scrimmage was the 8. They're going to give him a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd and goal for the Buccaneers. John Bakken's team trying to put this thing away at the start of the 3rd quarter.
Miller with a couple carries in the first half, hangs on there.
Josh Legard with just enough of that Miller's foot to slow him down. And here we go, 3rd and goal from the 8. There's Brandon Miller lined up on the left side, inside receiver. He's looking that way. Hackett got a man. Who else? I was going to say Gabe Howard, but it's Joe Zimke. It's not 22, it's 82. Legard and Jake Sternhagen in on the tackle. Short of the touchdown, I should say. So it's 4th and goal from the 3.
Bucks showing their versatility on offense. You know, just when you think they're going to go to one guy, they go to Joe Zimke, who hasn't seen a lot of action. But, I mean, it's just another weapon in their arsenal.
And they're going for the 6 on 4th and goal from high atop the dome. Hackett, can he get in? Yes, standing up. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Hackett 2nd. Corey Hackett on 4th and goal from the 3, took it himself.
I don't know if you'd call that a gutsy call, but I mean, obviously they've proven that they have the weapons. We've been saying it all game. Hackett takes it himself on the keeper. 2nd touchdown of the game. He's some kind of quarterback.
He's thrown for 2. He's run for 2. And now he'll hold on the extra point. Nice job putting it down. Gabe Howard puts it through. Less than 2 minutes into the 2nd half, the Buccaneers make the Knights pay for the fumble. And it's 28-0 Buccaneers on the U.S. Bank scoreboard. Welcome back to the Metrodome. Corey Hackett, we showed you from high atop. Here's a low-level shot. He took it in for a 3-yard score.
Corey looked like he might give it up on that play, but takes it in for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Hackett, just a fantastic, just good instincts. I think that's very key in much of the first half, the no-huddle offense. You have to have good instincts and good anticipation.
Well, they took over at the 35 after the fumble. There's Bill Morgan in the middle. Now Eric Schoenbauer is to your right on the screen, but Morgan's left. The Knights making a little bit of a change after the fumble on the kickoff that has been so costly. This time it's Morgan. Remember, they fought for it last time. Good tackle right there at about the 21-yard line. Putting him down, Nick Tegmeyer.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Oof. Those are some hard hits that they're administering.
Now, when you average 38 plus a game and give up a game, you are doing something right. This is a stingy defense. Their offense is explosive, but the Buccaneers have had 5 shutouts. They've given up 7 or less in 10 games of their 13. And they haven't given up anything yet. Bill Morgan there, but he's met by green shirts. Obviously, the Knights are going to have to open this up.
Yeah, the Knights, I'm sure, are feeling real frustrated right now. When they need to get things going, the Buccaneers have had an answer. I mean, they've had an interception, they've had fumble recoveries, and you know, you have to put together a string of good plays to get a rally going here. They're going to need to get some big plays going right away here.
Well, it's not like 28 points in basketball. It's 4 touchdowns, it's 4 scores, but they need something. As Chad Davison got across the 25 on 2nd and 11, Jesse James with the tackle.
Jesse James, that's a great football name, isn't it?
Yes.
Or a great sports name.
Sounds like someone who should make some interceptions.
Yeah, right.
Some takeaways.
Right.
You got 7 on that. It'll be 3rd and 4 from the 28. Davison and Sternhagen have had some good runs. The offensive line has had its moments here in the first 2 quarters plus. Drexler will keep it, and he lunges to the 30-yard line. He needed to get to the 32. It's going to bring up 4th and about 2. Good effort by Dave Drexler.
One thing I think that may be hurting the Knights is their inability to go to the air. They have a real strong rushing attack with Sternhagen and Davison and then Drexler, but you know, receiving, they don't have much in that way. Davison has 6 receiving touchdowns, but that leads the team. They need to get the ball in the air.
Nate Chandler has been on the field too many times for the Knights' liking. Jesse Apple with a fair catch at his 39-yard line. So about 3.5 minutes into the second half, it stays 28-0 on the U.S. Bank scoreboard. With Vanessa Hughes, I'm Jeff Grayson. West Central area. Look at their fans right there. They represent the communities of Elbow Lake, Wendell, Barrett, Hoffman, and Kensington, and they are still into this game. They need a defensive stop here.
The student section hasn't given up hope yet.
Well, we'll say it again. What a great turnaround year they've had so far. Hackett under pressure right there. Brought down by Brian By. Hackett with nowhere to go there. 3 wins in the last 2 years for the Knights. Kind of story, I mean, while we're impartial, you can't help but appreciate a story like that.
Right. I guess it would be a Cinderella story to put it best. With 1 win, then 2 wins, and then 13. You know, I think Coach Frisch is getting the most out of his players, and you know, they try to adopt a kind of a game plan, if you will, not just for on the football field, but in all areas of their lives, as far as being on time, being prepared, paying attention to detail, getting their homework done. So these kids are well-rounded, and it certainly shows on the football field that they are paying attention to the little things, and they put together quite a winning streak this season.
Well, you saw Brandon Miller, and you also see the effects of playing on artificial turf. He's got some blood on those bandages from this turf. Brian By and Adam Copeland on the tackles. 3rd and 6 at the 38. And there's a movement right there as the ball was being snapped. Buccaneers trying to work the clock down. Points are almost less important right now than time for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and we talked about that discrepancy at time of possession in the first half. Obviously, the Knights want to work the clock, and the Buccaneers. The Knights want to get the ball back. They want to get some points on the board.
Well, it's good news for the Knights and their fans because of the penalty. We're back to 11 yards that the Buccaneers need for a first down. 3rd and 11 at the 33 after the false start. Pretty well played game penalty-wise. Just a couple of flags. But Jesse Apple on the dump-off, past midfield, spins. Boy, he's tough. Inside the 45, Bill Morgan, his opposite number, 26, makes the tackle. Hackett dumped it off to Jesse Apple, and his buddy got a big gain for a first down.
A good read there by Hackett. Let's take a look. Drops back. Finds Apple across the middle. And he's an explosive back. He gets, well, he gets brought down hard, but he makes things happen on offense. He's fun to watch.
43 receptions coming into this game. He's got 2 in the first half. Hackett somehow avoids the sack, and he's got an open man. Ball is loose and recovered by West Central area. What a bizarre play. Bill Morgan has got the ball. It's almost like a punt, really, when you get down to it. Jake Golembeski was going to give it to Clint Semin, I'm sorry. I thought it was 86, it's 88.
Look at him elude that rush. Wow. Boy, just when you thought everything was going the Buccaneers' way, something good happens for West Central area. All right, and we'll be right back. See if the Knights can convert.
Eric Reiner caused Clint Semin to fumble. Bill Morgan recovered it. Really, it's like a punt by the Buccaneers. It's 1st and 10 at the 7-yard line for the Knights, who needed the ball back just over the 10-yard line there. On the carry, that is Sternhagen, Jake Sternhagen. Jason Bemis with the tackle. That'll give him 4 yards, making it a 2nd and 6. Well, you said the Knights needed the ball back. They got it. There's the first Buccaneer turnover.
Yeah, certainly, and obviously a big break for them with just over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They really need to put together a good scoring drive here and put the ball in the end zone. They're down 4 touchdowns. It's not out of reach yet, but it's getting close.
Now you see how big that Apple pass was, because it gave them, the Buccaneers, about 20 yards to play with. Incomplete. Intended for Leigard on the pass. Brandon Miller on the, Nick Salmon on the defense. There's a look at Josh Leigard. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Knights.
Coming right at us. Oof. Right off his hands. Right idea, but just not quite there.
He wants that one back. Well, now it's 3rd and 6. Buccaneers trying to hold them here, get the ball back for themselves. Drexler on a rollout against the other side of his body, and he found the receiver open, Eric Reiner. He needed about 6 for the first down. Jesse Apple in there, and Eric Reiner appears to be shaken up. He's the one who caught the ball for a first down.
Reiner really took a hard hit on that play. Hopefully he's okay, just a sophomore. He's got a bright future ahead of him, one of their go-to guys on offense.
There's a stoppage in play, 5:42 left in the third quarter.
Let's take a look and see maybe what the problem is. Oh, maybe he got the wind knocked out of him. You know, the helmet went right into his stomach.
And Jesse Apple is the one who put the hit on. He has been everywhere in this game.
Oh, boy, well, Apple was certainly ready for him. Yes, he's made some big plays at both ends of the field. Like you said, maybe a candidate for player of the game, but there are a handful that we might be able to put in that category.
Tim Pittman eventually brought down Eric Reiner. That's one of those where you're going across the middle, you're going to get the hit anyway. Give Eric Reiner credit for concentrating and getting the first down, because he knew he was going to get it in traffic like that. Reiner has 2 catches for 29 yards in this game.
Well, it looks like it's an ankle injury, his right ankle. We certainly hope he'll be okay, but his day may come to an end a little earlier than he had hoped.
Well, they'll take as much time as they need. There he is walking off. Well, we hope Eric's okay. Good sportsmanship by the Bucs fans. Give him credit, though, because he made the catch that converted a third down into a first down, and he knew he was going to take a hit, and he really got hit by 3 players.
He certainly did, and oftentimes those are very difficult passes to hang on to when you've got 3 guys coming at you from all different directions.
Well, it's 1st and 10 at the 24. Drexler had to get rid of it before he hit the turf. Jesse James, there's another name that we've called a lot. Pass was intended for Leagard. So it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 24. This Buccaneer defense just hasn't let the Knights sustain anything for more than 1 or 2 plays in a row.
No, they have made some nice plays on offense, but like you said, they haven't allowed them to get into any kind of a rhythm or routine. And I think that's probably really throwing off their game plan, as you can see by the scoreboard, 28-0. Waterville and Legion Morristown with the lead.
2nd and 10 at the 24. West Central area, back to pass. There's Drexler, went right through the hands. That looked like that ball went off of Ryan Suxcore. Went right through his hands. Looked like Drexler led him well.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Trying to get something going through the air. Just basically goes off his hands.
Well, on this drive, Dave Drexler may not have the best stats, but he's had a couple of drop passes that look like they've been right on the money. 3rd and 10 at the 24. He's got to get 10 yards for a 1st down. He throws against the other side of his body again. Threw into coverage. Eric Schoenbauer was the intended receiver. Tim Pittman, one of a few green shirts there, but it's incomplete. It'll be 4th and 10 for the Knights.
The Knights have got to be frustrated. They went with their running game early on with Davison and Sternhagen pounding for those yards. That obviously didn't work as far as getting points on the board. Now they're going to the air, and they're just not having much luck at all.
Now Nate Chandler may be the busiest Knight of the day. He's punting again. There's Jesse Apple, not given very much room to make the fair catch, but he did near midfield. And the Buccaneers, I'm sure, will try to work some more clock here. Just over 5 minutes left. Reminder that the 3A championship follows this one. St. Michael Albertville against De La Salle. De La Salle from Minneapolis, and the Islanders have the state's #1 recruit in Dominic Sims. We've each done stories on him, and he is a multi-sport star who I think can make a go of it in basketball too, but he's playing football. As you see, that's our next game. And I know Glenn Mason wants Sims.
Oh, you bet. I mean, he's the kind of guy, he can play quarterback. He also plays safety. He returns kicks and punts. I think if he went to Minnesota, which obviously we would all like, he would probably play safety. So they could use somebody to replace Tyrone Carter over at the U. And then he could be a backup quarterback as well.
You see Eric Reiner being looked at. I know he doesn't like the way the game is going, but you got to respect a guy like that who makes the catch to keep a drive alive and takes the hit. On 2nd and 13, there was a loss on the previous play. Gabe Hauer making the catch. Mark Reiner, Eric's brother, I'm sorry, the pass is incomplete, so it's 3rd and 13. Ball still at the 45-yard line. Let's get an injury update from Lillian McDonald. Lil?
Jeff, Eric Reiner is here on the sidelines. He's being attended to by the team physician. It does look like it's the right ankle sprain. It is not sure whether or not he'll be able to come back into the game. He has a tendency to have some ankle problems right now, especially under the bone on his ankle. It is very sore. They're going to do the best they can, walk him around a little bit, wait and see what he can do today.
Lillian, thank you very much. Now that Hackett throw was intended for Brandon Miller. I think they're going to mark it an incomplete pass, but that was very close to being a lateral. Using my geometry vocabulary, which I got a C in high school, it looked like it was parallel. The word is parallel with the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't even want to admit what I got in geometry. Pretty embarrassing, but
it's taken years for me to admit.
Come to terms with that, huh? I did well in lunch.
There you go. 4th and 13 from the 45. There's Hackett, who never seems to take a down off. Going from quarterback to punter. Davison makes the fair catch at about the 19-yard line. So the Knights get another chance. They've had their share of possessions in this game, but they just can't sustain anything against the Buccaneers. 4.5 left in the 3rd quarter.
And we talked about it earlier, just the ability of these kids to come out and play both ways. I mean, you kind of take it for granted, but you talk about a quarterback who turns around and kicks the ball and, or punts the ball. And, I mean, these guys are out there almost every down. That's a lot of energy. They're not just playing half the game.
Corey Hackett, a quarterback and also on special teams. He's a holder and he's a punter. Chad Davison getting the ball, going to the left side. He's past the 25 on 1st and 10 from the 19. So we take a look. A little bit of a sweep as Davison went to his left.
Yep, he takes the pitch and finds some running room. Gets tripped up. But Davison and Sternhagen, like we've said, they're go-to guys on offense. They weren't able to get it done through the air. Now they're going to the ground.
Well, they are. Jake Sternhagen, they alternate this time. Davison got 6 on the first play, so that was 2nd and 4. Tony Schnoor and Tim Pittman making the tackles. What an active defense for these Buccaneers. Give them credit. Just 5 points allowed per game average. 5 shutouts out of 13 games. They've given up 6 points 3 times, and they've given up 7 twice. So added up, 7 or less allowed in 10 of the 13. That is impressive. 3rd and 2. Sternhagen met at the line. He needed to get to the 30-yard line, and he is short. Oren went, and that was a crunch.
Oren went to the right place, that's for sure. Boy, I mean, not only do the Bucs have many weapons on offense, their defense has really stepped up. They're just not letting the Knights get into any kind of a rhythm. They're stuffing Sternhagen and Davison in the second half. They're really playing well.
That was as impressive of a hit as it was. Jake Sternhagen kept going forward. The 5'10", 206-pound senior on 4th and 1. That was Drexler on the keeper, and he kept it, and they'll keep it. The Knights get the first down to move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 30, and it's a step forward for the Knights in what's been a frustrating afternoon.
Yeah, some new life for West Central area. I mean, we keep saying it, but they really do need to convert a scoring drive here.
2 receivers to Drexler's right. He's got 1 on the left, so 3 wide total. Drexler back to pass, going long, just out of the reach there of Chad Davison. I thought he was going to hook up. Tim Pittman on the coverage.
Well, he had the right idea. They went with the ground game a little bit there. Now they're going back to the air. Davison was the leading receiver on this team this season. 28 catches, 478 yards, 17 yards per catch, and 6 touchdowns. So those 2 are familiar with one another. Just not quite there.
Maybe about a yard too long. He just about hit him in stride. Nice effort by Davison. Dave Drexler has a 2nd and 10 from the 30. Inside handoff. Davison looked like he made a lot out of nothing there, getting near the 35. We'll call it 3rd and 5 as the 6'3", 213-pound senior kind of rambled his way, getting half of what he needed for the first down.
And good backs will do that, just when you think the play is over.
It worked.
They get more out of it, spinning his way and kind of plowing through the defense there.
As I mentioned, he gets 5. 3rd and 5. Drexler to throw, needs a quick one. Looked like there was contact before the interception. Josh Legard, the intended receiver. Tony Schnoor came up with the ball, but I think we're going to have contact before there should have been. Whoa, that was a great angle by our crew there.
You bet. Let's wait and see what the official says.
It'll go against the defense. What an angle. Wow. We saw this perfectly. Keep an eye on 59.
Oh.
Well, it looked like the 59. He made the catch, but it was Clint Semin in there on the coverage. So it'll be a first down. I was saying keep an eye on 59. I really, he was the one who kind of came out of there trying to make the interception, but it was Clint Semin. The referees decided had his hands on Legard too early. Now Drexler on 1st and 10 near midfield. Diving to the ground, Paul McGee. It's incomplete. Brandon Miller on the coverage. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line. Minute 36 left in what has been a long 3rd quarter of play.
Good coverage by the Buccaneers defense. I mean, they're just getting those hands on the balls, and you know, they know where these guys are. They're getting there just in time, breaking up these passes, just not letting the Knights get into anything.
2nd and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. The Buccaneer 49 by about the nose of the football. Right up the middle, Sternhagen got to about the 45-yard line, and there is Tony Schnurr once again.
We've heard that name quite a few times today. He's been in on a lot of defensive plays.
6 foot, 200-pound senior. Clock running. We're down to, I should say, a minute 15 in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 6 from the 45. Sternhagen with 4 on that play. Morgan and Sternhagen I formation behind Dave Drexler. Under a minute in the 3rd quarter. He's got time. He throws. And a flag goes down again. McGee was the intended receiver, and if this is a second interference penalty, it'll be the 2nd first down on this drive without even catching a pass for the Knights.
Yeah, we saw it just a couple plays ago. We see it here. So while West Central moving the ball upfield, or downfield, I should say, they haven't even had a completion, but they're kind of taking advantage of their opportunities.
That one not as easy to judge there. That was Clint Semin on the defense. The previous one I thought was a little more obvious. Those are tough calls to make. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Really, not many penalties until this drive. It's been magnified. 1st and 10 at the 30 with 51 seconds. They go to Sternhagen, but this time Jason Bemis says, no, sir. The 6'1", 225-pound senior puts Sternhagen down.
Luke Larson also came in to help on that tackle. Sternhagen really with nowhere to go. Kind of ran into a green wall, as you've said before.
No gain. 2nd and 10 at the 30. Clock running. We're under a half minute now. 25 seconds left as the Knights trying to get on the board. Buccaneers going for their 6th shutout of the season. Drexler, the pitch. Davison, lots of room near the 20-yard line. He's upended by Jesse Apple near a first down. We'll see where they mark it. 5 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Davison showing his explosiveness on that play. He was this close to breaking that tackle and heading for the end zone.
Well, only 7 points in the 3rd quarter. But Waterville, Legion Morristown got him. And it's 28-0 after 36 minutes.
For more prep sport team information and statistics, be sure to check out our website at www.kmsp.com under Prep Sports in the Sports section, courtesy of Varsity Online. And as you said earlier, an invaluable service when we're scrambling around on Friday nights needing those prep scores. They really do help us out.
Yes, you're absolutely right. 28-0 on the Smart Pages scoreboard. Waterville Legion Morristown has a 14-point second quarter sandwiched around 7 in the 1st and the 3rd. 12 minutes to go. Drexler needs 1 yard for the first down. Needed to get just over the 20, barely. And he should have enough.
Yeah, it looks like he's just out of the chains, which is good news for the Knights as they need to get the ball into the end zone here. Down 28-0, under 12 minutes to go.
Clock running. Looked like the clock barely ran for that last play as they decided if he was close enough for the first down. He is at the 19-yard line. Nice pitch to Davison. Getting some explosiveness near the 10, inside the 10 to about the 8. Jesse Apple, who else, pushed him out of bounds. But Davison showing more explosiveness as the game goes on.
Davison went for the stiff arm there, trying to get Apple out of his way so badly, wanting to get that ball into the end zone. Here he takes it. Coming right at us. Jesse Apple hustles over and forces him out of bounds.
Good stiff arm and good recovery by Apple to keep his wits about him to get him out of bounds. First and goal from the 8. Drexler hands off and put down on the handoff. Luke Larson making the play. That is Jake Sternhagen, the ball carrier.
And that's a shocker, huh?
Yeah.
He's their go-to guy, or one of a few anyway.
Ian Davison, really the mainstays in that backfield. No gain. It'll be second and goal from the 8. So, and a stoppage of play here with 11:09 left.
Sounds like Davison had to come out of the game briefly. He had blood on his jersey. They're trying to remedy that problem.
Substitution, Paul McGee out, Josh Legard in for the Knights. You take a look at Joe Zimke, a 6'2" senior for the Buccaneers. Well, the Buccaneers have been dominant this season, both sides of the ball. They're trying to hold that shutout. Knights trying to get on the board. Davison, it's worked the last couple of plays. He may have gotten a yard, but Tim Pittman with a nice tackle, a sure tackle by the feet.
Well, the Knights are chipping away, getting closer to the end zone. But Pittman comes up with a nice tackle here. You see Davison again, the ball carrier, brought down by the feet.
Davison, 6 carries, 39 yards in the second half. Sternhagen, 6 carries, 10 yards. So the Buccaneers have done a great job stopping Sternhagen. Davison averaging over 6 a carry in the second half. It's third and goal from the 8. Since the first down, they've been held to nothing. Drexler, broken up by Jesse Apple, intended for Davison. So it'll be 4th down and goal.
The green apple comes up again. Man, he is all over the field today. And we've talked about him many times. He scored in the first half, making big plays on defense. Great anticipation. He just has a good sense of where the ball is going to be thrown.
Well, he definitely doesn't play like a Granny Smith, that is for sure. 4th and goal from the 8. We'll see if the Knights can get on the board in a moment on the Smart Pages scoreboard. With Vanessa Hughes, I'm Jeff Grayson at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. It's been all Buccaneers, but they're trying to hold that shutout. This is going to be the 16th play of the drive for West Central area. It's 4th and goal from the 8. Score or else on this.
You bet. And West Central area is so badly wanting to put the ball in the end zone. Even if they don't come back and score 4 touchdowns, you'd never want to be shut out in any game, let alone the state title game.
Here we go. Drexler, look out from behind. He is sacked. Mark Little had it all the way.
Mark Little, another one we've been talking about throughout the game, making some big plays on defense. Another one right there. Waterville Legion Morristown is set on picking up their 6th shutout of the season. We get the overhead view here. And he's brought down hard. No mercy on Mr. Drexler there.
Luke Larson also in there right there at the end, but that was Little's play. And as you said, he's made some big ones throughout the game. It seems like when there's a big play to be made, he's one of them who's around there, as is Jesse Apple. So the Buccaneers hold after a 16-play drive yields no points. 1st and 10 at their own 17. Over 10 minutes left. Hackett, he's going to go for it all to ice it. I'm surprised at that. Intended for Gabe Howard. Chad Davison on the coverage along with Josh Legard. I figure at this point you just run and work the clock.
Yeah, certainly. Although that worked in the first half, they connected on a 76-yard touchdown. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to run up the score, but why not work the clock, guys?
Yeah, he's thrown 34 touchdowns, talking about Corey Hackett. They're definitely not a grinded-out kind of team, but you think in this situation, that's what you do. Let's see what they do on 2nd and 10 at the 17. Now they go to the ground. Brandon Miller, good tackle there. Making the tackle is Mark Reiner, and he had 100 tackles coming into this game. Brian By with 148. Josh Hagan with 99, just some of the totals.
Miller, the ball carrier, 120 attempts, 908 yards gained this season, so almost 1,000 yards rushing for him. He averaged 7.6 yards a carry. That's pretty impressive.
He got just one on 3rd and 9. Hackett rolling and looking and getting his man. He needs to get to the 27. It's a first down. Bill Morgan made the tackle.
Jesse James on the carry there. Another name we've said many times today.
Mostly on defense.
The Buccaneers again showing they've got a number of worthy receivers on their offense.
26 yards is Jesse James right in front of our cameras. Great job. Bill Morgan ran him out of bounds. 26 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 at their own 44. And the Buccaneers are defying convention here.
They certainly are. So much for trying to work the clock. They want those big plays. They're going to try and do it through the air.
Incomplete. Davison and Leagard. Josh Hagan came in with 99 tackles for West Central area. Doesn't have one today. The 6'2", 200-pound senior. Buccaneers have done a good job stopping him in the interior. 2nd and 10 at the 44. Still 9:21 left in the 4th quarter of our 2A championship. Again, movement at the line. Boy, there's about 5 flags on the turf. There's a false start against the Buccaneers. One of the few kinds of penalties we've seen. I think it's been all false starts and a couple of pass interference calls against the Buccaneers.
Not a lot of penalties today overall. You know, there have been a couple in this second half here, but overall pretty clean football.
Brandon Sheehy was the one who moved. He's a freshman. Hackett under pressure. Boy, he is elusive. He'll get rid of it. He won't get the sack. Apple just out of his reach.
Boy.
I guess, to tell you the truth, I don't understand why they keep throwing, but that's what they like to do. Josh Leagard on the coverage.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The Bucs averaging almost 39 points a game, so you know they're under their average. They're trying to get back up. They've only got 28, so maybe that's just not good enough for them.
That must be it, because incomplete passes stop the clock, and you'd think they'd want to continue that. Well, Corey Hackett being the traffic cop here, lining up his receivers, talking with Clint Semin just before the snap. 3rd and 16. Well, he rolled and he bought time, and now he's got a man. Joe Zipke. Davison catches him near the 20-yard line. Close to 40 yards on that gain right there.
Davison coming up with a big play there. I thought he was off to the races. How about you?
I did too, but Chad Davison showing great stamina playing throughout this game, running him down.
Yeah, Davison, I mean, he's been one of the primary ball carriers for the Knights. Comes up with a big touchdown-saving tackle there.
All the way to the 21-yard line. Hackett has thrown for 323 yards. That is a new 2A single-game passing record. I thank Jeff, our stat man, for that. He just added to it. No! In and out of the hands of Mark Little. Bill Morgan on the defense. All right, let's go back to the statistic we were just talking about. Corey Hackett has just set a 2A single-game passing record, 323 yards, breaking the old record by Triton's Kirk Methune. I remember when he set that back in 1994. Kirk with 309 yards, so he broke it by 14. Methune now plays for Bethel.
Wow, Hackett. What a day for him. He's put it in the end zone a couple times, and he's 323 yards in the air. Quite a day for the senior quarterback.
Back with more on the Smart Pages scoreboard. It has been all green so far. Waterville, Legion, Morristown, 8.5 minutes away from its first championship with these communities, Waterville, Legion, and Morristown. 2nd and 10, Buccaneers at the West Central area 21. Quick pass. Ooh, that was a dangerous one. Intended for Tim Pittman. Jake Sternhagen on the coverage.
Right into traffic on that play. Like you said, very dangerous. Sternhagen, I'm sure his eyes were as big as saucers on that play. Nearly picked it off. Oof. brings him down hard. Sternhagen and having an outstanding game on both sides of the ball, but unfortunately his team just not able to put any points on the board today.
The Buccaneers got to their second Prep Bowl in 3 years through the air, and they're staying with it, even in this shutout. Hackett rolling out, going against his body to Apple for the touchdown. 21 yards. The combination platter of Hackett and Apple.
We could have some fun with those last names, but boy, those two really have just some kind of chemistry between them. I mean, give a lot of credit to Hackett. He waits, he times it perfectly, and Apple with a great catch in the back of the end zone.
That is a tough throw, going towards the left.
Yeah, he was off balance and managed to thread the needle right to Apple in the end zone.
Howler's extra point is no good. Low and to the right, so it is 34-0. One of the few glitches in John Bakken's afternoon. What a play. Let's take a look at this again.
His ability to elude the rush and just make good decisions. You know, he takes all the time that he wants. His defense, obviously his O-line, doing the job. Finds Apple. Look at that, running sideways. I mean, that's a tough play.
And he put it where it had to be. I thought for a second he was going to go and dump it off to Jesse James. You saw him look for a second, and then he looked back, and he saw Apple open. And there is Corey Hackett. Came in with 34 touchdowns, and he's thrown for 3 today, I believe, and he's run for 2. He's been a part of every single touchdown.
Yeah, he's something special. I don't know what his post-high school plans are yet, but I know he's being recruited by several small schools, and boy, what a welcome addition he'll be to somebody's college football team.
He's also a 4-year starter as point guard, and you can see the way he directs things. That's a natural for him. Brian Volbrecht kicks off once again. Bill Morgan took the kickoff. You know, it was 21-0 at halftime, and that fumble on the opening kickoff of the second half, that may have been it right there.
Yeah, it kind of puts the stake in the heart, if you will. But I mean, you know, give credit to the Knights. They're hanging in there. They're just getting some unlucky breaks, and you know, West Central Waterville and Legion Morristown is. I mean, they're just doing everything right. You know, it's hard to beat a team when they're just not making many mistakes.
West Central area is actually more built for the big lead to run out the clock. They're really the team that has the better ground game. The Buccaneers are the team that's good, you would think, it's coming from behind in quick spurts because they have the great pass attack. But they're opposite today. It's the Buccaneers with the big lead.
You bet. I don't know what they're discussing down there on the field, but something is coming into question.
Mike Frisch's team, 13-0 coming in, just like Waterville, Legion, Morristown. Remember, the 3A championship is next. De La Salle and St. Michael Albertville. The 4A game is Cambridge Isani against Mankato West, and then Cretin Durham Hall against Hastings in the 5A championship. Here is the scoring drive. They don't take much time.
No, they don't, and we talked about it at halftime. Double the time of possession for West Central in the first half, yet 0 points. Waterville definitely taking advantage of its opportunities and scoring quickly. They are finding many ways to get the ball into the end zone today. And as you said, Corey Hackett has been a part of all 5 touchdowns for the Buccaneers.
I wonder how much longer he'll stay in because he's already set the 2A Prep Bowl passing record.
Right, but then again, you hate to take the guy out. You know, you kind of want him to be on the field at the end of the game for the celebration, and he's had one heck of a ball game.
We'll keep an eye on that. Dave Drexel with a handoff. Sternhagen breaks away. Jesse Apple. Who else stopped him? But a nice run by Sternhagen. Good blocking by the Knights offensive line. The Copeland brothers, Dallas and Adam, are in there. Brian By, Ryan Giese, Mark Reiner. Guys, you don't hear that much about the offensive line, but they do the grunt work.
They certainly do. I mean, if it weren't for them, Sternhagen wouldn't have scored 27 touchdowns this season. An outstanding number. Those guys are getting their jobs done, but often don't get the credit that they deserve.
1st and 10 at the 39. The Knights keep it on the ground. Sternhagen like Davison, seems to be picking up steam as the game goes along. Right up the middle.
One thing I want to mention, there will be a welcome home rally for the West Central Area Knights football team, 4:30 on Sunday at the high school, which is in Barrett. So make sure you get out and support your guys. Win or lose, this is a big deal, and they have a lot to be proud of.
9 yards for Sternhagen, right up the gut. 2nd and 1 from the 47 as the Knights get near midfield. They'll do it again to Sternhagen, turning. He got the first down as he's near the 50. I think they'll mark it at the 49, so that would be a gain of 2. Well, I see Corey Hackett on the sidelines playing catch. That is Brian Roop. Brian Roop is a sophomore, 5'11". We'll see if he comes in. Judging by appearances there, I wonder if Hackett is through. I'm just thinking he'll have time to celebrate this one. 7 minutes, ball on the ground. Drexler with the nice turf bounce got it back.
Well, you called it. I mean, you said that Hackett might be coming out of the ball game. You were right. You know, he's done all he can do and then some. Quite a ball game for the senior.
Tony Schnorr making the tackle. A nice awareness by Dave Drexler to pick up the ball after he lost it. A serendipitous bounce. Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12 at the 47. I just wanted to say serendipitous once during this game.
It's a big word. I'm impressed.
Thanks. Sternhagen across midfield. Inside the 45-yard line. Joe Zipke with the tackle. Give credit to that offensive line and to Sternhagen. You mentioned they're hanging tough still. You want to know it by the scoreboard how things have been going. He's got 26 carries for 99 yards. So,
yeah, Sternhagen having one heck of a ball game. Just like you said, you wouldn't know it by the scoreboard that West Central area has a near 100-yard rusher, but him and Davidson both having great games on the ground.
That's the look of a football warrior. The torn jersey, he keeps on going. He's got 1,896 before that carry on 3rd and 3. So he's closing in on 1,900 for the season.
And you made an interesting point just a little while ago how the West Central offense is more geared toward, the stall tactic, running down the clock, and the Buccaneers, they have the air attack, and you think that it should be the other way around here, that these guys should be going to the air.
Knocked down right there by Mark Little. He just seems to be around when there's a play to be made.
Yeah, Mark Little having a great game, coming up with some big plays defensively, breaks up that pass there. We'll be back in just a minute. 34-0. Buccaneers on top.
With Vanessa Hughes, I'm Jeff Grayson. The Smart Pages scoreboard, all Waterville, Elysian, Morristown. Mike Frisch's team hasn't scored today, and John Bakken's closing in on a championship. We have a new quarterback. Brian Roop is in the game, number 15. Corey Hackett set the 2A record for yards in a championship. 401 yards of total offense. That is a record as well. Well, we'll try to get some of these new names to you. What a great hit there by Chad Davison.
Davison, another guy who's having a great game. He's one of their primary ball carriers for the Knights. Also getting it done on defense.
That's Brady Taylor, who is the ball carrier. A loss of 1. Davison showing great heart here, making the smack right there. So the 2A record for Corey Hackett, besides the passing, 401 yards total offense, 344 through the air, 57 rushing. Wow, that is impressive. He had a part in all 5 touchdowns, 3 TD passes, 2 rushing. Nice cutback run. Well, the Buccaneers can do it on the ground. Bruce Velsky, I'm sorry.
Velsky, a junior fullback. Not a name we've said many times, but it's nice to see that some of the kids who might not get as much playing time will be able to get in on the action here, the state title game.
The 5'10 junior just got a note from the Watertown Elysian Morristown side. pep rally in the high school gym at 8 o'clock tonight for the Buccaneers. And the ball is loose. It's on the ground. And that's kind of representative of how it's gone. The Buccaneers fell on it. Nice job falling on the ball. Looks like that's right there, number 60. That's Joseph Borst.
So the Bucks, I mean, everything's bouncing their way, literally. You know, he coughs it up, but they recover. So they'll get a chance to maybe put some more points on the board here with under 4 minutes to go, and time is a-ticking.
So their rally tonight at the high school gym, 8 o'clock for the Buccaneers as they close in on a championship. Roop, the handoff to Bruce Velsky, the junior. Dallas Copeland, he made the tackle, the 6-foot senior.
Well, the Copeland brothers are a couple names we've mentioned frequently throughout the ball game. A couple good ball players, a couple good defensive players.
Dallas, number 77, a 6-foot senior. Adam is the junior. He is also 6 foot, number 74. Nash Anderson, Jason Anderson are in the game. The subs are coming in now on both sides. We'll try to get these names to you. It's pretty hard though when you got 22 players total. Well, on 3rd and 1, they needed a yard for the first down. And they got it, so they're inside the 30 now. It's up to Brian Roop to direct this attack to run out the clock.
This is probably good for Roop, the chance to get into the state title game, picking up where Corey Hackett left off. He'll probably be their main general next year, so this is good experience for him.
What an act to follow. The total offensive record holder. Flag on the field. Pass is complete. What a nice tackle by Bill Morgan. And he put down, well, it's like, I know it's not Jesse Apple. It's a number I don't have on the roster, actually.
Let's see here. Here's Roop.
Morshing making the catch there. Well, we don't know his first name, so we'll call him Mr. Morshing. He's not on the roster, but he made the tackle. I'm sorry, he made the catch. 2:26 left in the 4th quarter.
Roop, 56 attempts, 21 completions, 1 interception, 254 yards, and a touchdown during the regular season. So he's got some minutes. This is probably going to be the starting quarterback next year for the Buccaneers.
Well, after we went to great strains to find who Mr. Morshing was, it was a penalty anyway. The penalty du jour of the day, false start. There's Bruce Velsky starting forward on 1st and 15 as we come up on 2 minutes now. Jason Anderson in there making the tackle. So Velsky getting his chance to shine here. 2 minutes left in the 2A championship. Stick with us for the 3A game as you'll see the state's top college football recruit. And Minnesota is on Dominic Sims' list. Minnesota's in there, I think Northwestern.
Northwestern, Colorado, and Nebraska. So he's got visits planned to Northwestern and Colorado coming up in December and to the University of Minnesota in January. He made an unofficial visit to Nebraska last spring. So, you know, Gopher fans are hoping Dominic Sims makes the right choice. But he does have a friend playing basketball at Northwestern, Ben Johnson,
yep.
So that might play into it.
They won 2 state titles in basketball. That was Brady Taylor on the run. Number 25, I'm told, is A.J. Ryan. So, A.J., if you're taping this and you watch this later, we got your name right, pal. A.J. Ryan. 3rd and 10 with about a minute to go in the 2A title game.
And the Gatorade has already been dispersed down on the Buccaneers sideline a little early.
They got John Bach and Jason Anderson with the tackle there. Also Carl Arnquist. Jason Anderson and Carl Arnquist. The ovation, as you said, Vanessa, is for the Gatorade dousing. Well, it's nice and warm in here. He doesn't have to go outside. John Bakken, who pirated the Buccaneers to a state championship, is awfully wet right now.
Well, he's in his 15th year. I'm sure he doesn't mind that one bit. And his biggest bunch of screw-offs during warm-up have found a way to put together quite a performance, a shutout performance, their 6th of the year.
Brady Taylor right there, and he's hit by Eric Schoenbauer. 10 seconds left. Waterville, Elysian, Morristown will win it, and they'll finish with a perfect 14-0 record. All three champions so far finish undefeated, and we'll have another one for sure in our 5A game because both those teams, Cretin-Derham Hall and Hastings, are undefeated.
I'm looking forward to that game. Should be quite a shootout. So many people talk about the offenses, Cretin-Derham Hall and Hastings with its many weapons. Obviously, somebody's going to come out of there undefeated, so it should be quite a shootout.
It's tough to rank teams when they don't play each other, and 1 through 4 throughout the year was basically Eden Prairie, Cretin-Derham Hall, Hastings, and Blaine. Cretin-Derham Hall defeated Blaine at Blaine, which is one of the hardest things to do in 5A, and then Eden Prairie played Hastings, and Hastings defeated them. So both teams truly the two best in the state at this point in the season.
You bet. And like I said earlier, similar to this game, it's number one. Well, not as far as the rankings, but unbeatens anyway. Yep. Number 1 and number 2 in this game. And that game, Battle of the Unbeatens as well. Cretin looking for its first ever state title. They've been here so many times. So I'm sure they're very hungry to get that first title under their belt.
We'll talk about their traditions, both those high schools. Cretin in a lot of sports, football, some great names. People have made it in pro ball, and Hastings Raiders are playing for their 3rd consecutive championship. They played in hockey, they played in baseball, and now they're playing in football.
Quite a powerhouse. They've got a lot of talent.
Well, taking the snap, Eric Schoenbauer at quarterback. This should be the last snap of the game. As the clock winds down, James Kirkpatrick will get the last carry, and Waterville Elysian Morristown is the 2A champion for 1999. Hackett and company do it with a shutout. Their 6th shutout in 14 games. They came in averaging 38 a game. They got 34. I mean, when you put points on the board like that and you don't let the other team score, wow, that is a deserving champion. The Buccaneers from Waterville, I should say. Waterville, Elysian, Morristown.
Lots of towns and villes in there, but yes, they certainly have a lot to be proud of. And it's the first title for this school. They did win the Class C title in '89 as Waterville and Elysian. Then Morrison joined them in 1990. So it's the first title for these three schools combined, and the fans are on their feet congratulating their guys. A lot to be proud of.
Good game there. Good game there. You play college ball, I hope.
Well, John Bakken
You're a good player.
Exchanging some words there. Wishing West Central area well. And what a season for them. They finished 13-1 after just 3 wins in the last 2 years. So give the Knights credit for getting here, but they just ran into one of the more impressive high school teams I've seen. When you look at their offensive and defensive domination, and Corey Hackett himself made some history here at the Metrodome with a record in passing and also in total offense in a championship game in 2A.
Corey Hackett, like you said earlier, had a hand in every play. He scored 2 touchdowns, threw for 3 others, 34-0. Everything went the Buccaneers' way today, and like you said, one of the best prep teams I've seen all season as far as getting it done at both ends of the field. Really almost a perfect game from them.
I know it's not the way the Knights wanted to finish, but when the upperclassmen look back, they'll be proud. Let's go now to Lillian McDonald. Lil?
That's right, Jeff. We've got the winning coach, Coach John Bakken. One heck of a game today.
Corey Hackett did an unbelievable job. We talked about it. I've had him for 46 games as a starting quarterback. We talked all week of the game that he called more than any other game. I said, hey, you know what I do? You go ahead and go play the game. And he called almost every game playing the field and did a great job.
I talked to the Knights coach at halftime, and he said, you know what? They've got more speed. It's just going to be really hard to get him down.
Well, and Corey just got the receivers in their hands. I mean, that was the key thing. Corey was able to get the ball in the kid's hands. That was the most important thing.
That kid runs, he throws, what he kicks? What doesn't he do?
Oh, yeah, we like the kid. We like the kid a lot, and it's going to be sad he's gone, but we got to the state championship the year we wanted to do.
Coach, you look deep, too. You only have a handful of seniors. You'll be back next year, you think?
Well, we'll try, but it's a challenge every year. Every team is different. We're going to go from there.
All right, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
That's Coach John Bach, and here's celebrating with his team right now. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with lots more coming up on Prep Bowl action.